All right, everyone, welcome back to the Tempe DC podcast. First ever podcast we are doing live on Instagram. For those of you who are listening on Spotify and YouTube, this is going to be the recording of the live feed. Yeah, Mark's in the background over here controlling the IG handle right now. He'll be answering or giving me the questions as we go about for today. And we're going to be focusing on the upcoming UFC event, the Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman bout. So we got a lot to talk about today. And let's jump right in. So for those of you who are on Instagram checking us out right now, welcome. Hope you guys, again, feel free to answer your questions. We're going to try to, again, keep a focus on Leon versus Kamaru first, Usman, and then we'll try to open up later for maybe some more questions and answers that you guys have as we roll into the podcast. Real quick, gym announcements. We got Logan Diaz fighting tomorrow in Emeryville. If you guys are coming out to the fight, let us know. Make sure you guys get your tickets. There should be some at the door as well. That fight will be at fights open at 1 p.m. or start at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So if you guys are coming out to watch, make sure you guys get there around noon to get your seats and account for traffic when you guys are going out to the East Bay. We've got in May, coming up on May 20th, we got Eddie Bravo coming to the Bay Area at 10th Planet Oakland doing a seminar from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, May 20th, Eddie Bravo comes back to the Bay and is going to do a 3-hour seminar over at 10th Planet Oakland. If you guys are interested in going out and enjoying the seminar, make sure you guys reserve your spots now. Pay to reserve your spot up front. It's $100 for the event, and again, hopefully we can get a good crowd out there so that we can get Eddie back out there more frequently, and we can get him coming to the Bay more often to do these seminars. Again, May 20th, folks. May 20th. Mark your calendars, and let's try to get a good group out there. I want to see a lot of 10 Planet Daily City folks out there and representing. Okay. We got typical open mat tomorrow and for the kids and for the adults. And then we've got the 12 o'clock class canceled tomorrow so that everyone can make it out to the fights. So no 12 p.m. Muay Thai tomorrow at 10th Planet Daily City. Other than that, we got a lot of competitions coming up. Again, in April, we've got the Jiu-Jitsu World League event and we've got the IBJJF Worlds on the same day. So again, make sure you guys are making it out to those competition classes, getting your reps in, getting your drills in, and staying in shape. Cut that weight. Make sure you guys are staying in shape, staying healthy. And when you go out there, make sure you're executing your game plan to your best ability, doing everything you can to focus on your game and not getting too distracted on what your opponent's doing. Try to make sure you emphasize your strengths and make sure that you're working on cleaning up your weaknesses. That's all you can do in these competition preps. We've talked about this plenty before. Just make sure you guys are putting in the time and the effort to get out there and enjoy the process of competition training and getting in shape. And it's a very grueling process at times. It's really tough, but you do your best, and we that's all we can ask for. You got to just make sure you go out there and represent. So, as far as for the gym announcements, not too much else on the list today. Just make sure, again, you guys are continuing to train hard, stay consistent. And, we wanted to talk today about the big fight coming up this weekend. The welterweight title is on the line. Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman is the main event leading this card. So let me take a quick look at the prelims. Let's see if we got anything notable on the prelims coming up. Looks like on the early prelims, some of the fights I'm looking forward to. Joanne Wood is going to be facing Luana Carolina. I'm not sure about Carolina, but Joanne Wood, I do like her stand-up game. She's pretty sharp. I don't see too many other guys on the early prelims that are looking good. On the prelim card, same thing. Looks like there's not too many guys I'm watching out for on this fight. There is about 4 bouts on the prelim card. It looks like they are all decently matched up. Everyone's got the records lined up pretty well. But on the main card, I'm watching definitely all of them. Now, tomorrow, it's going to be an interesting fight because it's in London. It's going to be 2 p.m. Pacific time. It's not going to be in the evening. For those of you who are looking at having a Saturday night event and trying to go out and watch the fights and in the evening, you may have the spoilers out there already being shown up on your Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. So if you're hoping to reserve your anticipation or reserve the news for who's going to win the fight, try to stay off your phones, try to stay off social media until later in the night. That way you can get the replay and you can watch it full-fledged as if you were watching it live. But again, if you're able to watch it live at the 2 p.m. slot, that's great for you. But I know most people always get thrown off with those London cards. It just gets really, really chaotic when it goes international fights. But 2 o'clock tomorrow. Yes, we got.
Looks like we got Juliana Miller on the early prelims, Boogie's student. the winner of Tough 30.
Oh, we do. Okay.
Make sure you watch her, 10P folks.
Oh yeah, she is. She's leading off the fights tonight. Very good. Juliana Miller 4-1. She won the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Boogie student.
10th Planet San Diego. Shout out to Boogie at 10th Planet San Diego. Juliana Miller will be leading off the card, so make sure you guys show your support for the 10th Planet fighter out there. And yeah, the card is going to be really well on the. I mean, I really like the card, the main card, and we got a lot of studs on this event. So let's just comb through this from top to bottom so that we can see all the matchups we got. So starting off, we got Marvin Vettori, okay, leading off with Roman Dolidze. Now Roman Dolidze, as you guys remember, we talked about that calf crush back then. That was just a nasty finish he had in his last fight. Marvin Vettori, former contender for the championship, definitely a threat, definitely dangerous. But right now, I'm leaning towards Roman. Right now, Roman is on a killer spree with his jiu-jitsu, and I think that if he gets to the clinch or he gets to the close distance, I think he's going to have the advantage. Marvin is definitely a very good grappler. He is not one that's just going to be pushed over, but I think the level of jiu-jitsu is just going to be too much for Marvin, and I think Marvin is going to have a tough time if it gets to the ground. Marvin is typically looking for the takedowns, and I don't know here who has the striking advantage. I may give it to Roman a little bit, but again, Marvin stand-up, I know he's been in Thailand, he's been working, and he's been training with the Thais over there. So he has a good shot of seeing improve. We have a good shot of seeing him make improvements with the stand-up. But again, I'm picking Roman for this one. Let me know your thoughts if you guys have any ideas on who's going to win that one. We've got, following that fight, we got Jennifer Maia versus Casey O'Neill, King Casey O'Neill. I think King Casey O'Neill has changed that 10th planet Las Vegas with Coach Casey, I believe. But we've got a good matchup with the women's flyweight division as well. For that one, I'm going to go with Casey O'Neill. I'm not too familiar with Maia, but again, I'm looking at Casey O'Neill, 9-0 record. Jennifer Maia, though, does have a lot of experience, 30 fights, and she is very, very experienced in this division. She is a little older, a little bit shorter, and she does have the reach disadvantage. So I'm going to go with Casey on this with the youth and with the explosiveness. And I think she's going to be able to draw out that win for the only women's fight on the card. Now, moving right along, Gunnar Nelson versus Bryan Barberena. Now, it looks like Gunnar Nelson was originally supposed to fight Daniel Rodriguez, for this fight, and it looks like Rodriguez is pulled out, and he's now replaced by Bryan Barberena. Now, Bryan Barberena, I've slept on many times. Barberena has always been the one to surprise me with these fights. He's got a lot of experience as well. He's coming in with 27 fights, and then we got Gunnar Nelson coming in with 24 fights. So not too big of a difference, about a good level matchup, but Gunnar Nelson definitely is a threat when it comes to the grappling. Good stand-up too. Gunnar Nelson's not a schmuck with a stand-up, but right now, again, all these times I've doubted Barberena. He's always upset me. So I'm going to go with Barberena this time, even though I'm a big Gunnar Nelson fan, and I think that he's going to be able to edge out a victory just because of the activity. He's been very active for these last few years. He fought Robbie Lawler. Excuse me. And who else has Barberena fought in the last few years? I think his last one was definitely Robbie Lawler. Rafael Dos Anjos. Sorry, he fought Dos Anjos in December last year too. He lost Dos Anjos, and that's the one that got me. I ate my own words on that one. I was picking Barberena for that one, and Dos Anjos won. So I'm picking Barberena again for this one. Maybe I'll be on the wrong end of the decision as well. But Barberena again fought Matt Brown, fought Robbie Lawler, beat them both. Definitely surprised me when he came in. I think he fought, was it Sage Northcutt, or was it who was his first fight he had in the UFC? If I recall, it may have been.
It was his third fight against Sage Northcutt.
It was his third fight. You're right. Barberena's been around for a long time. Looks like from his first fight in the UFC against Chad LaPriest, he fought Colby Covington, Warley Alves. Man, a long list of guys. Leon Edwards, he's lost to. But again, a lot of experience on his end. Beat Jake Ellenberger. Definitely not an easy fight. Fought Randy Brown. So Vincente Luque. Man, Barberena's been active, very, very active. And that's the dangerous thing when guys are active and they're always fighting, that they're always getting better. They're getting better quick. I don't know where Gunnar's been in these last few years, but he hasn't been as active as I'd like to see him. He had one fight last year against Sato. He had 2 fights the year before that, lost to Burns and Edwards, and 2 fights the year before that. So again, not as active as you'd like to see him, but definitely still a threat. So we will see on that end. I think that's a good matchup. That may be fight of the night. Actually, no, I can't say that too early. There's way too many good fights because we got the co-main event coming in. Mr. Highlight Reel, Justin Gaethje and Rafael Fiziev. Now, what a matchup. This one I'm probably more excited for than the main event as far as action-wise, because this one just is going to be highlights for sure, fireworks for sure. So, Justin Gaethje, former UFC lightweight interim champion. Okay, we got Rafael Fiziev, multiple-time Muay Thai champion, straight out of Kazakhstan, very, very lethal with the stand-up, and seems to be pretty good with the grappling as well. Obviously, Justin Gaethje has the knockout power, and he has that intense striking pace that he throws. But Gaethje also is a high-level wrestler, so we can't give the advantage too far one way to the other on the grappling. When it comes to the stand-up, I'm going to have to give it to Fiziev. I think he's a little more technical. He's been coaching at Tiger and training at Muay Thai, Tiger Muay Thai for a long time. Very decorated Muay Thai striker and a lot of experience with the striking department. And Fiziev is just super flashy. He's very, very nice with the stand-up, and I think he is going to be causing a lot of problems for Gaethje. Now, the question becomes, is Gaethje able to execute his normal plan that he does against Fiziev? He's usually the one pressuring. He's the one throwing the low kicks. He's the one attacking and just walking the guy down and just like boom, boom, just like keeping that pressure. Fiziev is not one to back down from that pressure though either. Fiziev is one who's just going to come in and he's going to just be a dog in the fight. He's just going to be pushing the pace as well. And we're going to see them both meet in the middle and see whose will breaks first. Now, this is, again, something where it comes down from me to who's the more technical striker, and I'm going to have to, again, give it to Fiziev, so I'm picking him to win this fight. I know there's a lot of Gaethje fans out there. I think Gaethje is the underdog, actually, for this fight, which is surprising. Maybe the odds have changed, Mark, if you can look up the odds and see what we got there. But, again, I'm picking for Fiziev over Justin Gaethje for this one. I know Fiziev right now, we're looking at the matchup. So Fiziev is a little bit younger even than Justin Gaethje, 30 years old, a couple inches shorter, and just a little bit of an advantage with the reach. And this is going to be a very interesting matchup because these guys are not looking to hold on to each other and grapple for the whole fight. They're going to be looking to throw down this weekend. So this is going to be a good fight.
Looks like Fiziev is a minus 275 favorite. Gaethje is a plus 235.
Man, that just goes to show you. I mean, Gaethje's definitely been a number one contender for a long time, but it just goes to show you how good Rafael Fiziev, because again, it's just when you get to that level of striking and you've been on a tear like he has been, it's just something you can't deny it. You know, last year, let's see Fiziev's fights last year. Beat Rafael dos Anjos, okay? And it looks like that was his only fight last year, so he isn't too active last year. But the year before that, beats Bobby Green, beats Brad Riddell. And the year before that, beats Renato Moicano and Mark Diakase. So this is, again, a long list of killers that he has been racking up. So Fiziev has definitely been one of those guys that you got to be on the watch out for. You don't want to sleep on him because he is killing it right now with his performances. And I think that is something to be in awe of after, you know, so much time in the UFC and coming from the background of Muay Thai and everything. Just to make that statement like he's been doing in the octagon is huge. So I'm picking Fiziev on that one. Let me know what you guys think. Let's once we get to the post-fight analysis, then we'll see if Justin Gaethje or Fiziev who was able to execute their game plan better on this one. Now, as we finish off with the co-main event, let's talk about the last and the biggest fight of the night. We got Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, the rubber match here. The rubber match, the last and final fight. Maybe not the final fight, but the third fight that's going to decide who gets the win, who has the belt. You know, this is at the end of the day, this is for the championship. This isn't just a rubber match for bragging rights. This is for the belt. Now, first matchup, we had Leon Edwards lose to Kamaru Usman via decision. There's no finish. Kamaru Usman pretty much dominated the fight. Leon was young. I mean, they were both young, but Usman was able to execute his game plan for the most part. With the second fight, we had such a wild turn of events with the second fight. Now, let's go round by round and talk about that last fight so that we can start to move forward and analyze the next fight. Leon Edwards came in for the first round, and he was able to make a statement with a few very, very important techniques that we cannot overlook. Excuse me. So Edwards was able to take Usman down, and that was a huge factor. I think he got into a body lock, was able to get an outside trip, and got the first definitive takedown on Kamaru Usman. Now, you can debate Colby Covington should have got that first takedown on Kamaru Usman because Usman put his hand down during that exchange, but this was a definite feet to back takedown. I mean, Leon got that double unders, outside trip, and landed on top mount on Kamaru Usman. Very, very big statement you can make on Kamaru Usman. And, definitely was something to take note of. After that, they turned into a scramble, and Leon's able to take the back of Kamaru Usman and almost chokes him and almost finishes him. Very, very tight on the neck and the body, and was going for that finish, but wasn't quite able to finish on Usman, and was able to see Usman survive until the next round. Now, rounds 2, 3, and 4, pretty much dominating rounds from Kamaru Usman. Wasn't too much that you could say that Leon was able to do in those next few rounds. So with that, you got to look at this fight as something where if it went to the judges, Kamaru most likely would have taken that win, unless Leon was able to do some very serious damage in the fifth, which he did. Which obviously everyone knows, Leon Edwards was able to finish with the last minute of the fight with that head kick knockout and put Kamaru down asleep. No TKO, no question. Kamaru Usman's lights were out, shut, cold, and it just made a huge statement that Kamaru was finished and definitively, and Leon was definitely the undisputed champion following that. Now, it's a difficult way to proceed now with the third rubber match, right? Or as far as like trying to pick the winner, because on one hand you have Leon Edwards, he's got the knockout power, he's the champion now, we're in his home arena, and we're seeing him be able to have that confidence coming into this fight that he can finish Kamaru Usman with one shot at any time in the fight. And it just goes to show you again the power of a good technique like the head kick, the great equalizer, that no matter what issue you have, no matter what problem is in the ring, if you can get that kick up to the head and put the lights out, that is huge. I've been there myself, and I know firsthand that head kick can make or break a fight if you use it correctly. Now, on the other hand, Kamaru Usman, debatably one of the pound-for-pound greatest when he was the champion, was undefeated for I don't know how many fights, but he had record was, I think, 19. He was 19-1 before coming in and losing to Leon. Let me see when his last loss was. I don't remember it being for a long time.
It was May 2013.
Wow. And that was definitely not in the UFC, correct?
No, it's CFA.
CFA. Okay. So this is, again, just goes to show you that not since 2013 had Kamaru Usman lost. Almost a full decade of him going undefeated and just racking wins. Leon Edwards was able to beat Colby Covington twice. Rory Alves. He was able to beat guys like Jorge Masvidal, knocked him out definitively, and even beat Gilbert Burns. So again, just a long list of killers that Usman has been able to put away. With this Leon fight, again, he came in knowing that he could beat Leon. He came in knowing that he had got one on him. But the factor that made it, again, a little different was that Leon had the time. He had the extra 2 rounds compared to their first fight, which was just 3 rounds. Those extra 2 rounds, he was able to stay in there and not get finished, and was able to land that head kick. Now, again, in this third matchup, you got to be logical and say that Usman can probably do that same approach to the fight and just be a little more cautious of not leaning his head to the right. His lean of that head to the right made that kick so much more devastating when Leon threw that left kick to the jaw. If Usman is able to keep that right hand up and not lean into that shot, we should be able to see Kamaru Usman edge out a victory on this. And who knows, again, Kamaru does have finishing power. He does have knockout power. It's going to be very difficult to land a shot on Leon Edwards, a high-level striker like that. But, we said that against Jorge Masvidal, and look what happened to Masvidal. I mean, Usman, you cannot count him out. He seems to be in a good space. He's had time to recover. He is a smart individual, a smart fighter with a good fight IQ. And he made one mistake last fight, which was dropping his head to the right side. And, maybe a couple of mistakes with that body lock and getting his back taken. But as far as the finishing sequence, it was that head kick that really made that deciding factor, whether he would be able to win or walk away with the loss. And Leon came in, again, knowing that he had the ability to become the champion. He did have the chance. He had the opportunity, but wasn't able to capitalize it until that last finish, that last minute of the fight. So, again, Leon's coming in, again, with all those advantages. Him being in his hometown, that's one. Again, when you feel that crowd and that energy of people around you and those guys, all your homies cheering you on, and you being able to not have to worry about the traveling issue, going out to a foreign land or going out on long plane rides and then throwing it off your training schedule. He's able to stay comfortable, be at home, train, and be in a spot where he doesn't have to stress over the extra stuff. He can just drive down the street and he's at the venue. Kamaru coming all the way from the US and having to travel to London, that could play a toll on some folks. Some people, that travel and that throwing off of your schedule does sometimes have a little bit of a problem when it comes down to it. So if you do have the advantage, again, it doesn't necessarily mean that the other person is going to fade. Usman having to do all this doesn't necessarily mean that he is going to, have trouble. He's got a championship mindset. He's got that durability, and he's been through so many experiences that you can't say that is definitely going to take a toll on Kamaru, because Kamaru seems to be doing pretty well with the weigh-ins and with the post-fight press conferences. He doesn't seem to be out of his head. Leon does seem to have a chip on his shoulder now, but rightfully so. He's a champ, and then a lot of people doubted him. So, again, very interesting matchup here. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Very, very interested in seeing what's going on. Mark, what's your pick on these fights over here?
I'm going to be with you for sure. I'm going to go Usman on this one.
Kamaru. Okay.
I did want to ask you, did you see Colby Covington weighed in?
Oh, as a backup?
Yeah,
I did not see that. And just imagine if Colby stepped in and did a third. It'd be the third one with him and Kamaru, right? Well, I don't see that happening because I don't think Leon is going to get injured, or Usman. But these backup fighters, would be interesting to see what's going on. Who knows?
It's just interesting because he can make weight, but he hasn't fought in so long. I'd like to see him get in there.
Colby's another interesting case. I think after he got sucker punched by Masvidal on the streets, he's been trying to avoid fighting just so that he can have a stronger court case. But again, that's just my assumption. Who knows what's really going down with Colby Covington? But if he's weighed in, that means he's ready to fight. If he's weighed in, he's ready to throw down. So hopefully we'll see him able to go in and put on a show if he is able to. But we're going to be in for some good fights tomorrow, guys. Again, it's going to be early. It's going to be an event where we're going to find a lot of answers in the welterweight division and the lightweight division. We're going to see who's who and what's what with all these events. And I'm just super psyched. Again, I hope I'm able to tune in and see them. But if not, I'm definitely checking out the replays for it. So other than that, we have, again, another great lineup of fights following this event. We have next week, we have another great event, the Marlon Vera versus Corey Sandhagen fight, which is following next week. So we've got some really good fights coming up. 287 after that, Pereira rematches Israel Adesanya on April 8th. So massive fights coming up. Oh, adding to that, Burns and Masvidal are fighting on that same card. So you guys, check out these upcoming fights. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. If we got any questions, Mark, we got any content or anything?
Don't have any questions, but
okay. Shout out to all those. What's up to everyone who's tuned in and everything. If you guys have questions, let me know. Again, we're just doing a test run on this live stream. We'll see if we can do it again, and next time hopefully we can get some more promotion for it. But we're testing the live stream today, seeing how it's going to go. We'll put another one out, so we'll put more notice for the next one so that you guys can prepare to come out. And yeah, if you guys are watching the replays on it, let us know if you have any thoughts on doing a live stream, or if you guys want to see us do it again, if there's any preference on times or preference on things we should cover. And always, again, engage with us. Let us know if you guys have any questions. We can meet you on the outside or before. So again, we'll leave it going for a couple more minutes. Again, we can just see if anyone else is going to be popping in over here. But again, guys, tomorrow for the fights, we are going to be there at around noon for sure. And again, the fights, hopefully if Logan fights early off in the card, we can boogie back over to Daly City and then maybe hit the Dave & Buster's and watch the fights over there. I'm not sure if they're going to replay it, and I'm pretty sure they will, but if they do replay the fights at night, maybe we can watch the replays over at the venue, and we can go see it then. So I'm sure you guys out there know that, you know, the fights that I'm sure a lot of the guys are putting money on and putting their bank on. Again, if I was a betting man, I'm going to tell you my picks right off the bat are going to be Roman Dolidze. You're going to go with Casey O'Neill. I'm going to go with Bryan Barberena, Fiziev, Rafael Fiziev, and Kamaru Usman. That's the smart money bets. Hart's going out with Leon for the main event. I hope he gets that win, but it really is going to depend on whether or not Leon's been able to adjust his game so that he can maybe let his hands go a little bit faster and get his striking going a little bit quicker than Usman is able to get his tactical game plan. I'm thinking Usman's going to come in and just try to get right to pressuring Leon again and right to the dirty boxing, right to the grappling, taking Leon down. And I don't think he's going to be wasting any time trying to stay in that mid-range. If Usman can do that for 5 rounds, which we know is possible, it's definitely not going to be easy. It is possible. Then we're going to see Kamaru Usman come out with that victory if the judges are seeing the right thing. Leon Edwards, on the other hand, has to get busy with the striking, has to get going. If he does not get going with the striking, if he starts laying and trying to just pick his shots, he's got to get ugly in there, like his coach said. He's got to get ugly. He can't let him bully him. Okay, you cannot let him bully him, because if that happens again, Usman can slide away with that victory in the O2 Arena, and that's the last thing Leon wants, is to lose in the UK in front of all his fans. And if that does happen, I think we've got an even greater debate as to seeing Kamaru Usman as one of the pound-for-pound best in the game right now, because to lose your title is one thing, but to regain it again is a whole nother thing, and especially to regain it under these circumstances in someone else's hometown, in a rubber match, in a situation where everyone's been doubting it, and just to be knocked out cold, just with such a devastating knockout, and to rebound off of that is such a powerful statement for a fighter. And again, it's never about taking the loss. It's about just learning from the loss. It's about moving forward and being able to get back out there and show what you can do. And even through adversity, through all those issues, you persevere and you're able to move forward into the next step in your career. So if Usman wins that belt again, I'm thinking he should retire. That's just my thing. I don't know if he's going to be able to go up to 85, or if he should go up to 85 more so, especially if Pereira's up there and, you know, Izzy's having his troubles with him. That is a gigantic weight difference if he does go up and tries to contend with Pereira. But that will be to be determined. That will be determined whether Izzy or Pereira fights, because I'm sure Usman does not want to fight Izzy with them being such close friends. But in Pereira being up there in that size, I think Usman's better tread carefully with that. But as being the king of the welterweight division, I think Usman, again, if he wins this one, he definitely, no debate, he is the #1 welterweight fighter and debatably #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So another good matchup to watch out for and see. So, Mark, any last thoughts before we close out for today? I think we got anything else on the live stream. If not, we'll close it out for you guys.
Let's see. We have a question of if women's class is still happening tonight.
Yes, women's class is still happening. Every Friday at 5. Joanne's always there. I mean, so again, if you guys don't hear from me or Joe, Coach Joanne, shout out. We will have women's class 5 o'clock, okay? Make sure you bring up your topics over there. All right, guys. Well, no other questions, Mark? If not, I'll close it out for today.
Yep, we're all good.
All right, guys. Well, again, we'll do this again. Hopefully, we'll get you guys out more, or get more of you guys out for the next one. And stay tuned for the next episode coming out next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Train hard, stay consistent.